Hello, and welcome to another episode of Roadside Oddities. If you like to travel and explore, be sure to subscribe to this channel because that's what this channel is all about. And we're glad to have you on board today. In today's episode, we are at Crater Lake National Park, driving the Rim Road Drive around Crater Lake. Now, Crater Lake is located in the beautiful Cascade Mountains of southern Oregon, in the stunning Pacific Northwest region of the United States of America. And if you are keeping track at home, this is stop number 12 on our attempt to visit all 433 national parks in the United States. Now, folks, we've got a good episode for you today. There's a lot to discuss about Crater Lake National Park and this visit. So we will do our best to get everything in within the length of the video. Okay, for this trip, we stayed overnight in the city of Medford, Oregon. Medford is about an hour and a half southwest of Crater Lake National Park. It's a great place to stay, plenty of shops and plenty of restaurants. And it's also home to a true roadside oddity, which you may have seen in the YouTube shorts, the giant blackbird sculpture, which is always fascinating to stop and see. The drive up to the lake is also very beautiful, and I would highly recommend staying in Medford, or you can look at some other options. There is camping in the park if you make reservations and those type of things. Crater Lake is definitely a must-visit national park. According to the National Park Service, Crater Lake is the deepest lake in the United States at a depth of 1,934 feet deep. The unique thing is there's no rivers or streams that flow into the lake. Rather, it is fed by rain and snow, and it's going to be considered to be the cleanest large body of water in the world. It's very unique because the lake rests inside a cauldron formed 7,700 years ago when a 12,000 foot tall volcano collapsed following a major eruption. And the Park Service says the eruption may have been the largest in North America in the past 640,000 years. Later eruptions formed Wizard Island, a cinder cone near the southwest shore. And coming up here, I've got a picture of Wizard Island that indicates where it is at. Man, that would have been crazy to be alive at that time to see that happen. I don't know if anybody was out in that area at the time, but man, that is something else. Now, Crater Lake also gained some popularity on social media in 2025, and this was due to the fact that access to the actual lake shore is going to be closed until 2029 for repairs on the Cleetwood Cove Trail, which is the only legal way or permanent way to access the lake for swimming and boat tours. The caveat is the rest of the park will remain open. I think if you looked at some of the social media posts, there was some confusion about what was going to stay open and what was closed. The entire park is not closing. It's just the strenuous path down to the lake is what's going to be closing. There's still plenty to see around the Crater Lake area. This area that we're currently driving through is the Rim Village. It's got a cafe, gift shop, overlooks. It's got the Rim Visitor Center, and it's also got Crater Lake Lodge. Very popular, as you can tell, with all the people kind of milling around. There was also the trolleys, which you can see too. There's a 2-hour trolley tour you can take around the rim, which I think that'd be pretty neat to do one day. And for the more hardy folks, you can also bike ride around the Rim Drive. Now, I only saw one person actually riding the bike around the Rim Drive, but there was all the bike tours at the very beginning, so I'm sure they probably make different stops along the way. The nice thing too about the Rim Village, it's also kind of your first time to be able to look at the lake, get a good overview of the lake. This Rim Drive got to discuss it a little bit. It's very nice, pretty easy road to drive on, but was not able to drive all the way around the lake because of ongoing construction. It was actually closed till mid-September around the Reflection Point area. So you can get pretty far around the lake, but you will have to turn around, and that's kind of where we ended the tour at. And you'll see it once we get over there, just how closed the road actually is. It would be fascinating because there's some areas over there that are supposed to be really pretty, but you just can't access it right now. The other thing to keep in mind too about Crater Lake is that it's really, the rim drive is really open from a few months out of the year, July, August, September, I think a little bit in October. It's because they get so much snow up there, so there's winter activity. So it's a very limited window of time you can actually go to see it. But the drive itself, if you do get there during that window, is amazing. You've got all these great overlooks, various areas to stop, and you can just really take in the lake. You can see the Wizard Island. You can see just how calm and clear and blue the lake actually is. They do currently have boat tours where you can take a boat tour of the lake and then go on out to Wizard Island. I believe that was one of the options on there. Again, though, that's going to be shut down until 2029 because the Cleetwood Cove trail will be renovated, worked on. And that's coming up. It's about the halfway point through on the other side of the lake. I did not do the actual walk down to the lake. Kind of give you some background on it. It's 2.2 miles, 700 feet. It takes about an hour and a half to get down there. There is a nice parking facility, clean restrooms, everything like that, up at the trailhead area because of how popular it is. And there was a lot of people preparing to ascend down to the lake. So at that point, I just figured I was probably just better off doing the drive around the lake and kind of seeing the different vistas and area points of the lake. The water temperature during the summer, if anyone is curious, is about 60 degrees or so. And I didn't see anybody swimming in it. You know, it's a little ways down there, but there are plenty of people that do swim in it and get in the water. And here's just another great view. There's Wizard Island. You can just see how blue and calm the lake is. It doesn't really move, and it's pretty quiet up there too. It's really something to see in person. I cannot recommend enough that one should visit it. Plus, this drive is just beautiful. You've got the trees, and to think that you're driving around a huge lake, a cauldron, is something else. It's really exciting to think about it that way. There was some construction on this road in addition to the closed road at the very farther end of the road, and it was probably about 5 miles or so. I did read that the Park Service, just because the park is older and it's also limited on the opening, that they try to get as much work done as they can every year. And so there was a little bit of a stop where it was a one-way road on this road. Still, you know, very beautiful. You can see some scenic overlooks from closed, but that's been pretty typical in my experience. But there's one of the trolleys we were mentioning earlier too. A lot of folks on the trolley tour. Maybe once it opens up again, entire way around, go back and visit it, take the trolley tour, and then it'll be neat to see the improvements that were made to the trail to actually get to the water as well too. Some of the videos that were on social media just showed a plethora of people swimming and visiting the water down there. Honestly, if it wasn't for social media, I wasn't real familiar with Crater Lake National Park. It's not one you hear just a lot about. But I'm glad I did because it was definitely worth the trip to get up there. And the nice thing is, too, you can pair this with other visits in the area. There's a couple other national park stops that are out in this area. And you can also do some of the Northern California driving as well, too. You can always go see the Redwoods, Avenue of the Giants, Eureka, California. Plenty of different things to do as you head through the Pacific Northwest, which is just always a real relaxing place. And as you can tell, the weather was just perfect this day, too. Absolutely beautiful. Windows rolled down, driving around the deepest lake in the United States. So in addition to just seeing the lake, which is a sight to see in itself, backpacking, very popular, plenty of trails around the area. Bicycling, like I had mentioned, I only saw one bicycle, but there was the bicycle tours and everything like that. Just another stunning view. Looks almost like a wallpaper there. And the water's not even moving. Look at it. It just stays still. Swimming, which we talked about. It's cold. You got to get down there. No beaches, no lifeguards. But you can say, hey, I swim in the deepest lake in the United States. And fishing is allowed. It's home to rainbow trout and kokanee salmon, which are not native to the lake. And it says licenses are not necessary. So there are no restrictions on the size, number, or type of fish taken. Fish may be released or kept, which is pretty interesting. So there are a few break-off roads here, too, on the trip around, which it's currently on. You don't necessarily have to take one of these side trips up, but we did. And it was, neat to see. And I do apologize, too. I noticed this the first time I had this happen on the camera, but in the middle there of the picture, there's a sun glare. It was about noon or so when we were making this drive around. And so that's something I'll have to remember in the future is to... in addition to the rain, but also to keep the sun glare down on the camera. I have to look into some ways to kind of control that. But as you can tell, this road is pretty well maintained in this area. And like I said, unfortunately, you can't drive all the way around the lake because there was ongoing construction. And then it sounded like, though, every summer there's different road construction spots where they close at different sections to try to maintain this road. But that would be something to head up out there in the winter time. I'm sure if you're a winter sports enthusiast, winter activity enthusiast, there's plenty of stuff to do out there. It'd be pretty neat to see in the winter. It might just be a little tough getting up there. Did not see any actual wildlife either. I was a little disappointed. There was no ground squirrels, no bears, anything like that. I guess they do have some of that, though. But it might have just been the time of year. Didn't really see a lot of wildlife in any of the national parks that we really went to during this time. Beautiful shot of one of the mountains around the lake right there. I noticed, too, alongside the road, when I was driving, that there was those large sticks, and I imagine those are for the snow plows in the wintertime to know exactly where the road is at, which also makes you wonder how much snow it actually gets if they're that tall on the side, but I have a feeling that's what they're for. And then you'll also notice, too, they're able to close certain sections of the road if they're too bad.
part of the road that was closed up here was just actually closed. They just have a bunch of no closure signs on it. And the video really can't do justice on just how relaxing of a drive this is. You know, up around the start of the Rim Drive, around the Rim Village and everything, there's a lot of people. It's like, oh man, it's going to be a crowded one around. But once you get out there and get a little farther away from the main attraction and the Rim Village and everything like that, it is not very crowded. And that's real nice. There's a real good view. That, you know, probably looking at the Cascade Mountains there. Not really any traffic behind me, not really traffic in front of me, and a lot of the overlooks too you can kind of just relax at. But a very unique visit, very beautiful, very stunning. And I know I've said this a few times already in this video, but I would recommend putting this national park on your list. And even though it is kind of not the closest to any real big national parks, there's still plenty of other little parks that are around the area. And like I said, you could pair it with a trip to Northern California or even head up and explore the rest of Oregon. You could probably do this drive in a couple hours. A lot of it just depends on how many stops you have, how many pictures, those type of things, some of those trails there at the beginning. We're getting close to the road closure. And so at that point, once we get up there, we just had to turn around and drive back. And there wasn't really an exciting thing that happened on the way back. So I've just got the video of going to the closure and then not really coming back because pretty much saw everything there was to see on it. Also, by the way, the park staff was extremely friendly, very helpful. There's some of the road construction right there. These trees are absolutely stunning right now. But we're glad to have you along on this trip to Crater Lake National Park. Again, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Any feedback is always appreciative. Anything else you'd like to see or hear about, let us know. And we'll see you on down the road on our next adventure, Roadside Oddities. This shot's a little ruined because the cone, which I saw later on, but it's still really pretty. Just a stunning lake, peaceful.